This is Damon Stevens with FinWealth Builders. Today is May 11th, 2021, and this is your stock market update. If you've not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe by going to FinWealth Live and join our channel so that you can get these ongoing updates. So overall with the market, you can see that the market was down today. The Dow Jones was down 1.36%, the Nasdaq down 0.09%, and S&P 500 down 0.87%. And you can see here that we were pretty much red across the board. I mean, pretty much there's a few spots where stocks were up, but overall the market was down. So, I mean, for those who, there's a lot of people who are saying, oh no, the market's crashing, the market's crashing. So as we go through the charts, hopefully you'll see that the market's not at a place of crashing yet. Could it happen? It could. But we could also go up to new highs again or something close to it. So to go through the charts, hopefully that'll help you out and help you navigate the charts. You'll see that for today, it was BRID was our big runners, SQBG and Triple D. So we'll cover at least one of those in our updates today and let you know kind of what was traded and what we saw today in the market. So earnings reports again. So today we had Palantir, we had Fubo, we had Lemonade, several other companies that reporting earnings today. Tomorrow, Sonos will be watching, Wish. Some of these are small to mid-sized caps, for tomorrow. Not anything large. Thursday will be a better day. Friday will be light as well, but Thursday is going to be our big day for watching stocks. But tomorrow we do have coming some out in the open, some at close. So keep those in mind. We'll show you a little bit as far as some trades that are possible, and hopefully that'll help you in your trading. So if you look at our earnings, we're down to 81. We're down to 80% from 81 yesterday, but we're still at 1482 that beat. 360 that missed the earnings. So BTNX was one of the trades that we started trading the other day, and as long as it continues to give us opportunities to either scalp or day trade this stock, we'll continue doing that. So hopefully, if you're in on that trade, you'll be able to take advantage of the last few days of this trading as well on us. But you can see today that we went to a breakout point as well. We've kind of broken up here on a day-to-day basis, had a little bit of a dip. You can see that we gapped back up, gapped down, and back up again today. So if you caught this trade down here, you were able to ride some of this up today. Let's go to a daily chart, and that way you can see a little bit better. So this was the morning down here at the open. You can see they was dipping down, and then we started to climb back up. So if you're watching this stock, great. If not, you probably got a late notice on notifications, so you probably missed the initial move. But you see, it kind of moved up here, took a dip. It stayed right on that 5 and 10 and 20 EMAs, just below the 50, and then bounced off. And so as it came up and it broke that high, then you're able to get in, or you may have got into this trade, and just a nice long ride up on that 5 all the way up to the top. So hopefully you took profits along the way, at least at these next break points, because that's really important. That way you make sure that you're not being greedy, and make sure that if it does hit one of these stopping points and breaks down, that you're able to lock in some of your profits. So as it breaks back up again, you're able to ride more of that with the remaining stock that you have. You can see that we dipped. Not much of a time to get back in again. I mean, this would have been a little bit of a ride, but not enough really to matter. So if you were trading this one, hopefully you're able to earn something today, and we'll see what next few days brings on the same stock here. So BRID was one of the ones that was on the list. You can see today got a big old spike, but you can see that it's come down quite a bit prior. Back in last March and June is where we kind of came back down and kind of climbed a little bit, and then had a big old sell-off through May. But today we have a big old climb right back up to almost $23 here. So I don't know if you caught any of this. I'll show you an intraday chart, but hopefully you had a chance to ride this up today. was on the list on our scanner. So the day trade, you can see you probably didn't get noticed until about this time right here. So as this was coming in. So if you saw this and you're able to get on, this is on a 1 minute chart, just so you can see that you had some plateaus that you could possibly get in on. But you can see this big old long ride up here. You had a couple of times where you kind of flattened out here, so you could have hopped in at any of those times and got back in, or leveraged more, or took profits, depending on what your strategy is. But you can see that we had a big old long ride up here. And so you can see at the end of the day that we had it kind of settled down and kind of went into indecision point here with the doji. So we don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So we'll take a look at tomorrow. Maybe we'll get another trade out of this one. Palantir, one of the ones that we've been tracking and monitoring, and you can see that on a daily chart that it's kind of been trailing down, kind of took a long dip here, but you can see that today was a great day for we had a big spike up, when it came back up and touched that 5 EMA on an intraday chart. You can see here kind of what happened. So there was a sell-off, and then you see the morning of this big old long candle down here, and then it broke back up. And as soon as it broke this level here, that was a good entry in. Or if you waited later, you could get an entry over this 19 here. You see you had a nice pop up to 20. It's not a ton, but a nice scalp trade. Came back down, popped back up, fell short, came back down to the support level, down 1881. And then you could have got back in and rode this up. Now it just kind of grinded as you got it back over 20 again. But you could have rode it a little bit up here and got at least a point out of this trade if you were in that trade or monitoring that stock. So the US dollar, you can see the US dollar kind of ticked up here. So this is something to watch for, because if that dollar keeps coming, it starts coming up, you could see some selling off in the marketplace as the dollar gets stronger. So just something to monitor and watch. Is still under all the moving averages. We got support down here at 90. It could go possibly back up here to 90, 70. But for right now, we haven't traced back up this candle. So we're about the bottom third. So we'll see if it can hold that or trade lower and allow the stock market to continue to be strong. You see the SPY? So you can see that it kind of dropped off here as well. I have a big old gap down. So now we got this gap here that we got to fill. But gap down this morning, came down to a low 411. I was watching it carefully to see, because if it breaks that 411 level, we got a nice long drop down here to the 50. So something to keep an eye on. Luckily, the bulls came in. You can see they kind of chased back up here. It did close under the 20 EMA. So we are under the 20. That's not necessarily bearish yet, but it's more bearish movement for today. So we'll see what the next few days to bring out. But hopefully it can find its way back up there. But we'll trade it as it comes. Triple Qs, Nasdaq, you can see that it came down as well, and it was selling off. It came down and touched the down here on the 100 moving average, and then at 320.51 found some support and climbed back up to almost the bottom of yesterday's low. So that's kind of where it's hovering right now, 325. We'll see if it can get over 326. If it can, it might climb back up this candle here, this breakdown candle. And you see all the moving averages are still sloping down though. So that does kind of give us a kind of a bearish sentiment for the triple Qs, but it is making an effort to come up here. So we'll see if it can pull it off. If it doesn't, if it was to drop back down here, it should find support again back here, close to that 100. If not, it's a long way down to the 200. So down to 301. So we'll see what it can do. If it can get a whole climb back up there, then we can start to go back to old highs. So SMH, so semiconductor space, you can see same story. I mean, with the techs, all the tech sectors. So tech sold off, was able to recover and find support and came back up. And you can see that the semiconductor space, SMH, closed right on that 100. So we'll see if tomorrow if it can start to climb above that and get to a little bit safer zone and to move forward and back up, or if it's going to have some weakness and start to come back down. If it does, it could come back down to any of these levels, to 224 to 216, or down to 213 here possibly. So so we'll just kind of monitor that and see what that can do for us. So IWM, so the Russell 2000. So you can see that the Russell 2000 again dropped down, just like the whole market pretty much did this. It was almost like it was a sell-off, and it gave an opportunity for people to buy the dip. But if there was fear in it, a lot of people may have sold off. If people had calls, they may have sold them. But it was kind of a little fake out here in the morning, and you can see that it did stay above the 100, bounce back up, and climb back up towards the bottom. I didn't mark it, but there's a little bit of just a slight gap right here that will have to be filled. That could be done in the morning. Well, actually, you got a wick here, so I guess it could have filled that gap. So I didn't, but yeah, it could come up here in the morning. We could start to go back, climb up this candle towards these moving averages down up here, or if it gets weakness in the market, it could come back down and should find support around 213.30. If it falls below that, then we got a long way down. So we'll see what it can do. See if we can keep that strength going in the marketplace. So just something to be aware of. So the Dow Jones. So this is DIA. So index proxy for the Dow Jones, and you can see that it came down, touched the 20 moving average, tried to bounce back up, and it's kind of hovering right at the bottom of the 10, below the 5. So we'll see if it can get some strength to push back up. It did find some support down here on the 20, so that's good to see. You can see that it continues to use the 20 for support. So that's great action as far as showing that, hey, there is the bull still in there, ready to play. So we'll take a look and see what happens tomorrow. Gold. So gold kind of pulled back a little bit, had a little rest here. You see this. You see that there was a little bit of indecision here, and we pulled back a little bit, but we're still above the 5, so that's great. We're above the 5 EMA, so that's still very bullish. It could come down here and bounce off of the 5 and continue to move higher. You can see that the 5 does provide support, and if it doesn't, that we found support here on this 20. So could it pull back down to 20? It could, but right now, as long as it holds above that 5, we could go back up here to 845. And climb back up to new highs. So we'll keep an eye on gold, but so far so good. Silver, very similar. Got a little bit of a pullback and down to the 5. It's found support on the 5. We'll see if it can bounce back up. You can see that it found support on the 5 before and to continue to climb higher. So we'll see what happens. The 20 is cleared down here at 26.50. It could pull down if we have a negative day tomorrow. But we'll see. If not, it should get back up here to 27. Then hopefully from there you can go up to 28 or higher. So we'll see what it does. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin had a great couple days now. You can see that it's climbing up, and it's actually got above all the moving averages. So it's above all the moving averages, which is very bullish. So you can see we have a nice trend up here, ready to head back to the 58,000 level, and then up to 60,000 and beyond. So so it's good to see that Bitcoin has people come in. One thing that kind of concerned me a little bit is you can see the volume is really low. So whether that's enough volume to kind of continue pushing this higher or not, we'll see. But that is really light volume compared to what you can see on the chart before. So it might have trouble getting to climbing up there, but we'll see what it does. So Ethereum, Ethereum is just great. I mean, if you bought it 2 weeks ago, you pretty much doubled your money. It just continues to be very bullish and running. You can see it's extended above the 5 now. But wow, what a great short-term investment to get into. So hopefully you had a piece of that. If you didn't, we are at new highs. So it's difficult to say if it's going to come back here to the 5 and find support here at around 40.50, or if it's going to drop down here to 3,700 or down to this 20 here at 33.50. So we'll see what it can do if it can continue climbing. But yeah, we're now starting to extend, and that that gives opportunity for a pullback here. So you can see as we extended here, we pulled back. So so just kind of keep an eye on that. Be safe. Make sure you're locked in profits along the way as we move higher on Ethereum. But Ethereum's looking great. So on the Ethereum Classic, so this is a little bit cheaper. If you're trying to get into something a little bit cheaper, this is a great opportunity to do that. You can see that it went parabolic as well. And you can see the full retracement, where it's retracing back. It did retrace back just past this large breakup candle. And you see it kind of trace all the way down over about 4 days. Did find support here, did bounce off. It is under the 5 EMA, but it's between the 5 and the 10. So we'll see. You see that it looks like it's just breaking above the 5 now. So we'll see, but it's still very bullish. And so we'll see if this little pullback gives it enough energy to start climbing again. But again, very low volume, so that's something to keep an eye on. All right, so Doge. So Doge had a great, really quick run. This is a 5-minute intraday chart. And the reason I did the intraday chart, just so you can kind of see the range that it's been in. So it's really between 45 cents and 55 cents. And you can see that it's kind of consolidating down here. We got a wedge here, started here where it's kind of bounced off, came back down, bounced again, bounced here. You see that's almost ready to close this wedge. So whether it kind of continues to go straight, and flat, or whether, at this point takes an opportunity to start to go higher or break down through this and head lower, we'll see. Right now, there's no clear signal, so I'm not sure which direction it's going to go. But the trend's been bullish so far, so it's very likely that it could continue to either go straight and build up energy to break up to new highs, or it could just break up now and head up closer to the more 50 cents. If it breaks the 50 cents, you got 52, and then 55 is going to be probably difficult for it to break through unless it has a lot of momentum. And you can see that a lot of the Bitcoin and Ethereum and others have had a little bit weak on the volume. So hopefully we can get some volume in there. So Tesla, you see Tesla, like similar to the other stocks, came down, broke down, found support here, and and you had good support here at 591, and you see you had it here as well, and it just broke back up. Great trade, really great morning. So excited about Tesla. Tesla was a really good. You treated us really well today. You can see on the open here that it opened and it just went up. So if you could get in, at the support level around 600, and it just went up to 625. Unbelievable move. I mean, almost $50 move. So hopefully, you're able to take advantage of that, because that was a really beautiful move. And you can see that you had some consolidation here just before, broke down, got some support, and as soon as it broke above that line, it was a good run up. Dipped down, gave you another opportunity. So even if you didn't catch the initial, you may have caught support down here and able to ride this up again. So it kind of dropped down. It's kind of flat now. We'll see what tomorrow brings, whether it'll start to climb up again or not. It just depends on where the market's at and what it decides to do. But you can see that you had a good high volume. It's dropped down kind of a low volume here. So that's the only thing a little bit concerning. If the volume drops down, it's going to be hard to know where this is going to go. But for those who are patient, which I was one of those, I was waiting for this opportunity for it to kind of bottom out and just take off. So hopefully you got a piece of that. If not, we'll see what happens with the market to see if it's going to continue going up, or it might just kind of sit flat again. So we'll see what it brings. But hopefully going through the charts gives you an idea as far as what the opportunities are, what was moving today, and what may be moving tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. And again, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. And that way you can get these updated videos every day during the week. Everybody have a good night.